Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Gear Raffle and review. And today, the guys over at Cosy inSofa have sent us some lounging sofa blow-up chair things to take a look at. So, let's get right into it. Alright there, guys, let's take a quick minute and talk about the Cosy inSofa lounger chair. This is a bonus Gear Raffle and review. It's not one of the goals over on the Patreon site, so this is just a piece of gear that a company got a hold of me and said, hey, we'll send you one of these if you want to review it on your channel, and I can give it away to one of you guys. So, first off, you've seen them before. They're these blow-up sofas that you just yank through the air and they fill up with air, and it's so easy, and you can just lay around on them and they're super comfortable, right? And you've seen it on Facebook and stuff. Well, my first thoughts on these when I opened them up, and they actually sent me, they have two different versions. They have like a C1 and a C2. There's really not a whole lot of difference. One's got like a shape with more of a headrest, and the other one's more just like the normal shape. So I'm not going to really talk about them individually. I'm just going to talk about, you know, the product in general. But first off, when I noticed them, I've got one open here. They've got this looks like a nylon material on the outside, and it seems pretty good. It seems pretty sturdy. It's pretty rigid, and then also it's lined with this plastic on the inside. So I would think that as long as you are somewhat careful with these, you're not gonna have to worry about puncturing. The clasps are pretty strong. They've even got a little bit of a lock on it, and they're pretty rigid. And all in all, I think that they're put together pretty good. These are not, let me repeat, these are not meant to be mistreated, or this is not a piece of gear you're gonna throw into a pack and pull out and throw down on any ground. You're gonna puncture them. You're going to potentially break them. And we actually got one sent to us that after using a little bit, the stitching started to come out of it, and also when sitting on it, it deflated a little bit over time. The other ones seemed to be working well. So right off the bat, I want to say that these things are not indestructible, and for a price of about $70, you know, there are some cheaper ones out there, and there are more expensive ones out there. This is like middle of the line, and I think that you're pretty much getting middle of the line. Now, I understand, and when I talked to them, I called them about this one that was falling apart. When you're mass producing something, there's always that chance that you get one that's a little defective. So the most important part when that happens is that they replace it. So I've got the one of the original ones and the old one that leaked, and they were right on the ball. As soon as I called and said, hey, you know, this one's, the stitching's coming a little bit loose and it leaks a little bit, boom, they replaced it with a new one. So I think that's more important in a company, you know, because you're going to have those mishaps where something comes off the line and maybe a machine malfunction and the stitching wasn't quite right. But more importantly, they made up for it by sending me a new product that is working perfectly fine. Along with the other one I had, these two are performing perfect. So I wonder if it wasn't something that was just a defect. So that's my opinion out of the box. And when I went to use these, and I'm going to include some video like I always do, they talk about how simple these things are to blow up and how easy they are and how comfortable they are and how perfect these things are. They're really not that easy to blow up. Now, I will note they do get easier as you get more comfortable with it. The more times I tried to blow these things up, the better I got at it. But directly out of the bag, you try to blow one of these up, I had a hard time getting enough air into it. Wind plays a important role. They showed someone just, you know, grabbing one end and going like this, and it would automatically fill up and it would be perfect. I found you actually have to run with it like a kite out to the side, run with it to try to get the air in it, and filling up one baffle at a time, you know, seemed to help. But they're not that easy to blow up, and I also don't believe that they're that comfortable. They're decent for lounging for a little while, but this is not a piece of hiking or camping gear. This is good for a day at the beach. This is good. They're waterproof, so they're good in water. This is good for, you know, laying beside the pool. I will probably never take, well, I'm going to give these away, so I'm not going to have one, but I would never really take this on a hiking trip unless it was just a day trip for, you know, a couple hours or something, and you were just going to have a place to set it up. But if you're going to camp overnight, this is not a replacement for your sleeping pad. I don't think it would be that comfortable, and for weight wise, I don't think it would be worth it. It's really not a piece of hiking gear. But all in all, for just a lounger, for something to have to lounge in the backyard, I think this piece of gear is perfectly fine. There was a couple things I saw with it. One of them, the cup holders were different. I like the one with the elastic cup holders on the side better. And then one of their models doesn't really come with any way of anchoring it to the ground. These things are full of air. A gust of wind will take them away. And it looks like the one model, the C1 model, actually has a spot that you can put a stake through it and anchor them to the ground, which I think is pretty important with something that's this light and full of air, because I actually had chasing them down the yard because the wind blowing them away. All right, guys. All in all, I would say the Cosy inSofa is a pretty gimmicky product, and I think most of them are going to be, but it does work. They are comfortable, not for extended periods of time, but I don't think this is something that you're going to buy and it is going to last forever. It's kind of a disposable piece of gear. I just don't think it's heavy duty enough to last. I wouldn't take it into the woods. A sharp stick's probably going to poke a hole in it, or I wouldn't be too rough on it. Too much rough housing, you'll probably rip a seam. But if you treated it well and you took care of it, it would probably last you a long time as just that lounger. But enough talking about the Cosy sofa. It's a pretty self-explanatory piece of gear. A couple little issues with it blowing up and stuff, but other than that, I think the people that are going to win these are going to be happy with them because, well, it'll be free to them, and it is kind of fun to go out and blow up and lounge around in one of these. All right, guys, without further ado, it's time for the raffle. I'm not going to throw them up in the air. I don't feel like picking them up off the ground again. And like always, guys, if you want to take part in the raffles, link right here. Click on this link. For as little as $1 a month, you can get entered in every single one of these raffles. Today, we're raffling off 2 of these Cosy inSofas. And normally I do more hiking gear. This isn't really hiking gear, but this is a bonus raffle. So if you're interested in getting into these raffles for hiking gear, click on the Patreon link right there. But without further ado, the first Cosy inSofa, the winner of the orange one, is going to be number 17. Number 17. And number 17 is JSP Wayne. You just won yourself a Cosy inSofa, little lounger. All right, guys, time for the second one. This is, I've got it out because I was showing a bit of it. This is like a bright yellow sofa. It is the other model, which is the C2 model. The cup holders are a little different, and pillow and whatever. All right, for the winner of the second Cosy inSofa goes to number 5. Number 5. And number 5 is William Tansey. William Tansey, you've just won yourself a Cosy inSofa lounger. And guys, by the time you watch this video, they should be on their way to you. Congratulations. All right, one more thing, guys. I do have the one that the stitching was coming out of a little bit, and it didn't hold air the best. I wasn't going to raffle that off because, well, it's kind of defective, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So if you're part of the Patreon site and you're like, hey, I still want one of those Cosy sofas, if you guys want me to raffle that off in the next video, just leave a comment in the description, say, hey, yeah, raffle that off, and I will, in the next video, raffle this one off as well. Before you go, I have a special announcement. If you guys are a patron on the site, you guys know that for August, I had a special gift that I was going to give away to anyone that could get another person to sign up. And in the month of August, there was one person, and you guys know because he won a couple of the raffles already, Adrian Redgewell. He was one person that got his wife to sign up, the only one in August. I think there's been a couple here in September, but the deal was the gift was for August. Adrian, I'll show you what you have won, and it should be on its way to you now. You guys may have seen it if you follow the Facebook page. I've created a replica Katahdin sign. I'm a woodworker. I actually handmade this with all hand tools, and what it does is it holds your Katahdin summit picture, and it kind of pinches it here, and it sits on your desk. I've made 2 of these now, and one of them is going to you, Adrian. It also can be hung on the wall, and the Katahdin picture can sit like that up against the wall. And I know Adrian is actually just taken, and he may not even be back yet. He's just taken a trip to Maine, and he's going to climb Katahdin. So congratulations, Adrian. You are going to have yourself a replica picture frame holder for that Katahdin picture that I know you're going to get. Well, there you have it, guys. That's going to do it for the Cosy inSofa gear raffle and review. I know this is a little bit of a gimmicky piece of gear, but it was a bonus gear, or a bonus raffle they gave to us, and I wanted to review it and give it to you guys. So next raffle should be a little bit more hiker intense. We're going to do those black diamond trekking poles. But until then, I hope so very much that you've enjoyed this video. And remember, these gear reviews are just my opinion. And if you don't like it, you can go take a hike. Bye-bye.